Welcome to This Explainer. Today, we're exploring the silent architecture of personal health. It's wild to think about, but some of the absolute biggest threats to our well-being aren't lurking in some high-tech laboratory or printed on a cigarette pack. No, they are hiding right in plain sight. They're engineered directly into the totally normal routines we repeat every single day.
So I want you to really think about this. What if the biggest threats to your health are sitting right there in your daily routine? It's kind of heavy, right? Millions of us are unknowingly wearing down our bodily systems through everyday habits that feel perfectly normal, habits you've probably engaged in today without giving them a second thought. Because as you can see here, the damage just doesn't happen overnight. It happens slowly, silently, year after year. We are dealing with stealthy, silent threats. Long before you ever feel an ache, a pain, or any real physical symptom, the negative consequences of these tiny habits are quietly building up in the background. And the scary part? By the time those symptoms finally do show up, the damage is way harder to reverse. So let's break down these everyday routines, look at the biological mechanics behind them, and figure out how to protect ourselves.
All right, section 1, the sedentary trap, when stillness becomes a threat.
Okay, let's dive into this because we are living through a massive evolutionary mismatch. Modern life demands that we sit constantly. We sit while we work, we sit while we drive, eat, and relax. But our biology, human biology, was strictly built for movement. We need movement to maintain healthy blood circulation and keep our metabolism active. By embracing this super convenient modern lifestyle, we are literally fighting our own evolutionary design. And here's the thing, when we fight biology, biology fights back. Prolonged inactivity carries some severe medical risks. We're talking obesity, heart disease, diabetes, and even premature death. When you consider that many adults spend more than half their waking hours just sitting down, it makes sense. Your circulation plummets, your muscles weaken. It's this silent deterioration happening right there in our comfy desk chairs. But hey, the hopeful news is that the solution is incredibly simple. You don't need some grueling, overly expensive gym membership to fix this. It's simply about breaking up the stillness. Standing, walking around, cycling, or honestly, even aggressively vacuuming your living room works wonders. Just a few minutes of consistent activity every hour sends a necessary signal to your body that, yes, you are in fact still using it. Moving on to section 2, the consumption crisis, rethinking what and how we eat. On one hand, we have ultra-processed foods. These are heavily engineered for absolute convenience. Sure, they're cheap and they taste great, but they're absolutely loaded with added sugars, unhealthy fats, and artificial ingredients that actively increase inflammation throughout your entire body. Contrast that with nature's foods, simple, recognizable things like fruits, veggies, and lean proteins. These are the inputs your body actually recognizes and synthesizes for pure, clean fuel. And speaking of fuel, let's look at how we drink our calories. A lot of us are super careful about our food, but we completely ignore the sodas, the heavily sweetened coffees, and the energy drinks. This triggers a really dangerous sugar spike cycle. First, that liquid sugar just floods your bloodstream. Because it's liquid, it hits incredibly fast. Second, your body has to work overtime to process that massive influx. Third, these repeated sugar spikes just keep happening day after day. And fourth, this cycle leads directly to weight gain and insulin resistance, which puts you at a huge risk for type 2 diabetes. Plus, these empty liquid calories never actually make you feel full, so you just keep on drinking. Now, what's really interesting about this slide is how our modern lifestyles absolutely encourage us to rush through our meals. You might wolf down a whole lunch in just 5 minutes while you're working or driving. But biologically, it takes 20 minutes for your brain to finally register that you're full. That creates this really dangerous 15-minute gap where your stomach has had plenty, but your brain hasn't downloaded the update yet. It makes it incredibly easy to completely overeat without even realizing it. And beyond food, there's the water we just aren't drinking. Water regulates your temperature, supports digestion, and transports nutrients. Yet, so many of us are walking around chronically dehydrated. We get headaches, fatigue, poor concentration, dizziness. And you know what we do? We often mistake this mild dehydration for hunger. We reach for a snack when our body is actually just desperately asking for a glass of water. Proper hydration isn't some trendy health hack, folks. It is a basic biological necessity. Section 3, the rest deficit, the cost of continuous stimulation. I absolutely love this analogy. Think of sleep as maintenance for your body. For anyone out there who proudly claims they only need 4 or 5 hours of sleep a night to function, listen up. You are essentially skipping vital maintenance.
And if you skip maintenance on a complex machine for long enough, well, eventually the whole entire system breaks down. Because when your body is at rest, it's doing some incredibly hard work behind the scenes. It's repairing tissues, organizing your memories, strengthening your immune system, and resetting your hormones. When we try to shortcut our sleep, we aren't just feeling a little groggy the next day. We are actively inviting weight gain, weakened immunity, and high blood pressure. And sleep's biggest enemy? It's almost always stress. Now, everyday stress is normal, but chronic stress triggers this nasty cascade of bodily damage. First, your body basically gets stuck in a state of high alert. Second, stress hormones continuously circulate through your bloodstream. Third, your heart rate and blood pressure stay elevated. And finally, your sleep quality just plummets, keeping you trapped in a vicious cycle. Staying in that emergency mode all day long wreaks absolute havoc on your digestion, your immunity, and your mental health.
And honestly, what keeps us in that constant state of high alert? Constant screen notifications. Our phones, tablets, and computers keep the brain continuously stimulated. Without a little silence and reflection, mental fatigue is pretty much inevitable. Excessive screen time doesn't just hurt your attention span. It ruins your posture, strains your eyes, and destroys your sleep quality. Technology is an incredible tool for sure, but when it starts controlling your day, it becomes a really serious health problem.
Section 4. The ultimate warning sign. When the fail-safe breaks down. This is arguably the most dangerous habit of all. Completely ignoring your body's warning signs. Persistent fatigue, chest discomfort, unexplained weight changes, frequent headaches, shortness of breath. So many of us just brush these signs off simply because we're busy. We tell ourselves, oh, it's just stress, or it's just been a long week, assuming the problem will magically disappear on its own. So the crucial point is right here. Your body constantly communicates with you. The real challenge is learning to actually listen. Now, these symptoms don't always mean some absolute worst-case scenario is unfolding, right? But waiting until they become severe makes treatment incredibly difficult. Catching things early almost always leads to much, much better outcomes. As we wrap up this explainer, let's zoom out and look at the bigger picture. It's like a giant puzzle, and we face two distinct paths. The unhealthy trajectory is made of thousands of small, poor choices, compounding over years to shape a negative future. It's rarely one big dramatic event. It's the tiny errors in our daily routine. But hey, the incredible news is that the exact same compounding effect works beautifully for positive habits too. The healthy trajectory is built on small positive choices. Just a little more movement, better hydration, a bit more sleep, learning to manage stress. Repeated consistently, these habits can completely transform your life. Your future health is literally being built today, one tiny decision at a time. So, I leave you with this final, provocative question. Which of these habits do you need to change first? Take a moment today to really reflect on your own routines. Are you sitting too much, eating way too fast, ignoring your sleep? Just pick one thing to improve today. I really hope this explainer gave you some clear, actionable insights into your health. If it did, please make sure to subscribe for more explainers that empower you with the knowledge